So, hi everybody, my name is Dusha. I'm an educator here at Ripley, Aquarium, Canada. Coming down is Alicia, holding a bucket of food. And right behind her is Gabriel, diving and cleaning our exhibit today. So, what we're going to talk about here in the dive show is, of course, our stingrays. We are here at Ray Bay, and here are our shining stars of our exhibit. So in this exhibit, we have 4 species of stingray, and I'll point them out to you as we go along. So the first one right above my head is a southern stingray. These are the stingrays that Alicia will be feeding here now. The stubby-tailed stingray right over there, that is Mad Max. He is a rough-tailed stingray, so Alicia will be feeding him as well. And Super Ray out in the back end, which he usually does come up, sometimes splashes outside of the water. You might see him a little later. We also have our Cowno stingrays, again, this small stingray right above my head, and our spotted eagle rays, which are fed up above and a little bit further out. So you don't get the chance to see them during the dive show, but you will definitely see them a little bit later when we go touch the stingrays up above. So a little bit about stingrays is one that they have, of course, their mouths on the bottom of their bodies, but their eyes at the top of their heads. So as you can see, they're eating properly. They know where their food is, but they have their eyes at the top. So how do they know what they are eating is our major question. So the answer to that is that stingrays have 6 senses. So humans have 5, stingrays have 6. So the 6th sense is electroreception. So they have special electroreception organs at the bottom of their body, right around their mouth. And they can feel the heartbeats and electrical pulses from their food. So in this case, they can feel Alicia's pulse and basically let them navigate and find where their food is, and then it just slides into their mouth. That's what Alicia's doing. She's pushing the food into their mouth so that they can have a quick snack. So that is one cool fact about our stingrays. Another one is, I'm going to ask everyone to take their dominant hand. You are going to touch the top of your nose and the top of your ear. Does anyone know what material that is? Cartilage, exactly. So stingrays do not have a bony skeleton like we do, or some of the fish that we eat that have the bones. They are actually made, or their skeletons are cartilaginous, so it's made of cartilage. This is similar for sawfish, so if you had gone through the aquarium already and gone through the dangerous lagoon, you'd see the 2 sawfish there, and sharks. So they all have cartilaginous skeletons, and they're very, very closely related. So what that does is it makes it easier for them to swim in the water, float, and be buoyant. So as you can see, it makes Mad Max's life a little bit easier with a cartilaginous skeleton rather than having a bony one like us. Another cool thing about stingrays is, since they are related to sharks, they do have a different adaptation with their teeth. So, as you know, shark teeth are triangular and they rip and tear their food. But as you can see, these guys are very peaceful when Alicia puts her hand in front. Instead of ripping and tearing their food, they actually crush and grind their food. So, what they had done is they adapted where their teeth are actually flat. So their flat teeth actually helps crush mussels or clams or shrimp very, very easily. So they have no problem with crushing through a clamshell, which is crazy to think about. Sometimes our divers say if they've ever accidentally got bitten, it feels more like they jammed their fingers in a drawer rather than anything painful, extremely painful. So yeah, that's very rare. But if you want to take a peek at some of their teeth at the end of the show, I have a couple in my pocket, so I can show you at the end. Just let me know, and yeah, I can show that to you. Some other cool things about our stingrays is that they're actually divided by boys and girls, so they all have a different gender. So a cool thing that you'd look at is their two back fins. The best one is to look at is Mad Max. So if you remember, Mad Max is the one with the stubby tail swimming around in the circle above the rock. As you can see, where his tail and his body meet, he has two long fins, two long protrusions. Those are claspers. So that means that he is a boy. Whereas if you look at all our southerns, which are the larger brown stingrays down below, if you look at their two back fins, they do not have claspers, which means that all our southerns are female. And if you have any questions about that, let me know and I can help you out. So you can test yourself on the cow-nosed stingrays because we have both genders of those stingrays. So of course, that is a little bit about stingrays. But as you look around, we have other species of animals in this exhibit. And I just want to give them a little bit of a shout out. They do not get the attention they deserve sometimes by our guests. But these guys are crucial to this exhibit. So right up here in the front, the thicker fish, that is a Bermuda chub. One cool thing about that fish is they have hockey stick shaped teeth. So it's like in an L, almost. And it helps that fish to clean this exhibit, clean their habitat from any algae. So the teeth helps scrape it off of all the rocks and from the walls around the exhibit, and it helps us clean and maintain the exhibit. Another fish we like to bring up is our look-downs, which are the silvery fish. With their name, obviously, they look like they're looking down. These guys like to live in shallow water, so you'd occasionally see them come up top. But they reflect sunlight really well and they hide in shallow water. Unlike stingrays, which hide on the bottom, that's why their skin is a little bit darker and they can camouflage a little bit easier. So those look-down fish are really great when it comes to these feedings. As you can see, we have some ocean snow. That is just residue from any of the fish that the stingrays have been eating. And they actually do help clean it and swim by, grab anything in their way, and help our filtration system clean the exhibit. And last but not least, our sharks. So these sharks are bonnethead sharks. They are related to hammerheads, but they are fully grown. These guys are ram ventilators, which means that they need to keep swimming to breathe. So when you have the chance to touch the stingrays up top, please do not touch the sharks. We do not want to harm them in any way. It might cause them a little bit of stress, so just leave them alone. Another cool thing about these sharks are they're one of the only ram ventilators that are omnivores, which means that they're able to eat meat and plant material. And that is very rare for a shark, of course. So, friends, I'm going to finish off my dive show with a little bit of a conservation message, as we do here at Ripley. But since we are on the topic of sharks, I just wanted to throw out the question. I'd love to hear everybody's guesses. But how many sharks do you think pass away every year because of human interferences? Does anyone have a number? Yeah. 2 million? That's pretty good. Anyone have another number? Yeah?
I think about 500.
500. 500? And yeah. 100. Are you cheating?
No, I know that.
You know that? Okay, I'll go on to say. So it is approximately about 100 million sharks. And that is a lot. So when you are visiting an area where there are sharks present or even stingrays, try to avoid any trawl fishing. I mean, if you are commercial fishers, But try not to have any big nets scraping the floor of the water. And if you are using jet skis or anything like boats, etc., try to avoid very, very dense shark populations because sometimes they do get caught or get hit by those guys. So just be cautious of where they are and also what we're eating because the less demand that we have for fish, then the less fishing that there will be, and the safer our sharks will be. So of course, there's Super Ray coming towards us with the little gray dots. But Alicia will stay in the water, so you feel free to take any of the any photos with her. Just please remember to avoid flash. We don't want to interrupt with the meeting that they're having right now. So feel free to take any photos, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I will be here for the remainder that Alicia is here. So take care, everybody, and have a great trip through Ripley.